And I'm now invite Dr. Nani Nuraini from Bio Farma, Research and Development Bio Farma Bandung, Indonesia. She will share with us the best practices of development of vaccine against hepatitis B in Indonesia that now she is currently active on that research. Please, Dr. Nuraini.
Okay, thank you for the nice introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to thanks to the organizing committee that invite me to these very important symposiums. So today I would like to share about our experience on development of vaccines against hepatitis B in Indonesia. So this is my outline presentation. So we know that the vaccines are the most effective public health that save millions lives and also very critical to reach the Millennium Development Goals, particularly the goals to reduce infant and child mortality. So in line with that, WHO has announced Global Immunization Vision and Strategies 2006 until 2015 and later on until 2020. What is the vision? This is the variety of vaccines that will develop, especially in developing countries like Indonesia. For example, in here the hepatitis B, and also future vaccines like malaria, tuberculosis, dengue, and also HIV. So the target is in 2020 there will be new vaccines against tuberculosis or against malaria or against dengue. As we know that the hepatitis B is still a major health problem in the world. More than 2 billion of people have been infected, and 400 of them are chronically infected and risk to liver cirrhosis and also liver cancer. And about 500 until 700,000 of them is dead every year. So what is WHO perspective on hepatitis B management? So the eliminating of HBV transmission and infection is very important, not only for the perinatal or the during early childhood, but also for teenagers and adults. And WHO strongly recommend the countries develop goals of hepatitis B control that appropriate to their epidemiological situation. And of course, all infants should receive the first dose of hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours. So that's will be the goal of also immunization program in Indonesia. So in this talk, I would like to also share about the consortium hepatitis B vaccine in Indonesia, the history of this consortium and the aim of this consortium. So this is just to emphasize that the hepatitis B infection is also a problem in Indonesia. It's a high endemicity of the hepatitis B. About 4 until 20% of people in Indonesia is SBSAG positive. So even the hepatitis B vaccination is start since 1997. The need of domestic market of this vaccine is very big. It's about 6 million, corresponding to birth rate in Indonesia per year, or about 20 million doses per year. It's just for the babies, not for the teenagers or for adults. It's produced by Bio Farma. So even Bio Farma produce hepatitis B vaccine and other vaccines in single or in combination with DTP or diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, and also with DTP hepatitis B and Haemophilus influenza type B. This antigen came from multinational company. So we imported the antigens, and Bio Farma is only formulated making with adjuvant and then fill and finish. So we dependency of the imported antigen is our problem. So, looking to the vaccine R&D and value chain, so we know that to develop the vaccines, it need about 12 until 15 years. Why? Because this is start from discovery and also from research. As we know from previous speakers, that it's not easy to making the vaccine, to know the candidates, identification of the target antigens, understanding the pathologies, and the natural history of the disease. And also in the research is for the antigen production and other assay that we have to do. In development is very important because we have to do the clinical trial, not only in animal first, but also in human. We call the clinical trial phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So we need also registration to our national regulatory affairs. So in this, our agenda is to develop the vaccine of hepatitis B in the research basis. So this is our aim. Consider the dependency of the imported antigens and also the potency of Indonesian viral diversity with the synergy of business, academy, business, and government, or ABG synergy. We would like to develop Indonesian hepatitis B vaccines. So this is this consortium. It's established in 2012 and coordinated by Ministry of Research and Technology. We have funded from the Ministry of Research and Technology. And the member of this consortium is the Eijkman Institute, University of Al-Azhar, BPPT, ITB, and Bio Farma. And our aim is to develop recombinant hepatitis B vaccine based on Indonesian hepatitis B virus. So as Smith speak in the last speaker, that the virus-like particles of hepatitis B surface antigens is very important to induce the humoral immunity, and it's very, very effective vaccine since 1980s. So this is the S antigen from the virus. This is M antigen, and L contain of these three antigens, S, M. So the S antigens, or small SBSAG, is called the second generation of hepatitis B vaccines. Because the first generation of hepatitis B vaccine is plasma derived from the SBSAG donors. But it's no longer used right now because the issue of the safety. And we also the other vaccine that is ongoing, developed in the world is the LSBSAG that contain small pre-S2 and pre-S1 of antigens. So it is called the third generation of hepatitis B vaccines. This vaccine is recombinant, so it's not produced by growing the viral, but produced by recombinant DNA technology in yeast. The yeast usually is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, or Pichia pastoris, or Hansenola polymorpha. So this is the virus-like particle look like for the vaccine antigens. So maybe not of everyone here understand the recombinant technology. So I would like to brief explain of this technology. So the key element for recombinant production of the vaccine is first the factors. The factors has to have the insert of gene target. In terms of hepatitis B vaccine, it's S antigens. And these vectors has capability to translate and also transcription of the protein. And then after we have this cassette with the SBS-AG inside of these vectors, the second key element is the expression system. This expression system, like Saccharomyces, Pichia, and Hansenula, has their own post-modification. So the virus-like particle that produced with this of strain is similar to the hepatitis B antigens in the native of viral. And then we do the strain characterization. We have to know that the SBS-AG agent antigen is insert in a gene is insert in these cassettes, and then after that production of cell line, and then of course fermentation. We know that the doses of the vaccine is very high, so we have to scaling up into the fermentation, maybe more than 100 liters, and then the other key element is purification of SBS-AG. So to have the SBS-AG pure like this electron microscopy, we have to do all this stage. The cell harvest from the Hansenula and disrupt the cell because this is intracellular protein, so it is in the cell, and clarifications, absorption and desorption, ion exchange chromatography, ultrafiltrations, ultracentrifugation, and finally the stereo filtration become the final bulk of protein. So this is quite very long process. It takes maybe 1 week just only for this purification process. So what is the roadmap then and approach of the hepatitis B consortium? So this is the roadmap, like the Prof. Amin has told, that this is the what we target is in the pre-development, target on consortium. So this is funding by Ministry of Health of Research and Technology in 2012 until 2014. So the target of 2012 is to design and construct of SBS-AG in terms of small S gene in yeast. At that time, we used the Saccharomyces cerevisiae and Pichia pastoris. But later on, that we know that Pichia pastoris is more efficient to produce hepatitis B, so we decided to use the Pichia pastoris. And in 2013, we start to transform to the yeast and express the SBS-AG protein, and also preliminary verification of SBS-AG in yeast. And in this year, hopefully it will be, the target will be achieved, the expression and the purification of the SBS-AG, and also characterization of the clone and characterization of the SBS-AG protein. So what our strategy? So this is the member of consortium. So based on their capacity, we divided into the work breakdown structure, or WBS. In this Ekman Institute is to detect, isolate, and characterize the pre-S, pre-S1, pre-S2 gene in Indonesia. And University of Al-Azhar, they have their milestone to construct the SML SBS-AG in the cassette of this in vector expression. And then Institute Technology Bandung, or ITB, has to transform the cassette from this UAI to Pichia pastoris, select the clone that very promising, and optimize the SBS-AG protein expression. And BPPT has to develop the purification process of SBS-AG, and Biopharma, of course, to scaling up, because we are industry, so we deal with the scaling up of the fermentation or purification of proteins. So I would like to share what we have done in the consortium and what is an ongoing process of the project. So this is the result. So Eijkman Institute has already have the sequence of S, pre-S1, pre-S2 of Indonesian isolate, and their consensus to making the S, M, and L SBS-AG. UAI already construct the S, M, L SBS-AG for second and third generation of vaccine in Pichia pastoris. ITB has already have the clone that promising for SBS-AG production in Pichia pastoris and optimize the clone expression. The BPPT has already optimized and established the SBS-AG purification process. And Bio Farma has also result on scaling up the production until 5 liter. It's still very small in terms of the target of the 6 million doses per year. But we are in ongoing process of that. So this is the genotype distribution of hepatitis B virus in Indonesia. In previous study, we in Eijkman Institute. So we know that almost genotype B, C, and D in all of genotype in hepatitis B is in Indonesia. So we have very rich potential viral hepatitis B virus in Indonesia. So this is, you can see in this slide, that the blue one is genotype B that predominates in all of the area in Indonesia. So the genotype BN, the serotype ADW is dominant in Indonesia. So in line with our study in this consortium, we found that also genotype B is predominant in Indonesia. So we conclude that the genotype B ADW serotype would be a best candidate for our vaccines. So this is our strategy to isolate the S gene by using the PCR for this DNA virus isolate. And then after that we have the consensus of S, M, and L antigen from the isolate that we have. And also from the gene bank of the previous study that we done in Eijkman Institute. So we have the consensus, and we have also the codon optimization for the expression system. So this is the construct that has already done in UAI. And then we also success to transform and integration the cassettes of multi-SBS-AG expression in Pichia pastoris. It's done with in ITB. So we have several clone integran 4 cassettes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 clone that promising. So this integran 4 cassettes, we also analyze that this inserted fragment encodes amino acid with 100 similarity compared to that designed previously. This inserted gain encodes complete MSC that important for antibody response, and T and B cell epitopes and complete cysteine residue, which are important also for PLP formations, and substitution of amino acid related to vaccine escape mutant are absent. So this is the good candidate. So we have to select from this clone what is the best yield for the SBS-AG production. Because not only the clone that express the SBS-AG, but we have also to consider the yield production. And this is the expression that indicated by dot plot using the anti-SBS-AG. Our clone is positive for SBS-AG. And this is the purification process that we have done: cell harvest, disruption, aerosol absorption, desorption, ion exchange chromatography, and ultracentrifugation using calcium chloride. So this is the purification process by the ion exchange chromatography. We have the peak of this protein And we done the page of this clone expression, and compared to the SBS standard, we see that we have the monomer, dimer, and also trimer of the SBS AG. And when we do the Western blot using the anti-SBS AG, we saw the similar pattern of the positive control in our bulk of the vaccines. So this is a very promising candidate. So when we scaling up into 5 liter cultivation, we saw also that those of these lysets produce SBS AG indicated with the positive with the dot plot analysis. So we don't stop there. We have the ongoing project right now in 2014 is to develop the third generation of hepatitis B vaccines, and then scaling up the fermentation, of course, because 5 liter is very small, and also doing the mathematical model to optimize the expression of SBS AG, and development of expression system in Hansenula polymorpha, because we only have in Pichia pastoris right now, and characterization of clone and express protein. So this is what we have done to make the third generation of vaccines. We still construct the M and L SBS AG, and this year will be put or transformed into the yeast, Pichia pastoris. And this is the scaling up. So from 5 liter, we will go to 30 liter first. And this is the mathematical model for expression SBS AG in several medium, in several dextrose or glycerol components. And from this experimental data, we know that certain amount of glycerol was sufficient for biomass production. So from this mathematical model, we can scaling up the fermentation process. So the other thing that we have to understand for the production, that in previous talk of the slide, I said that we need 20 million doses per year just for the babies, not for teenagers or adult, just for those domestic market. But our target in biopharma, we also want to export the vaccine into the other countries. So we have to consider the yield of production. From several journals, we know that the expression of SBS AG and PS2 protein is different in different yeast-based system. So the protein expression in Hansenula polymorpha usually is more or bigger than Pichia pastoris, and bigger and from the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, because the copy number of the cassettes in Hansenula polymorpha is quite big, 4 times until 8 times of the Pichia pastoris. But the problem is commercial available factor and strains is only Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So what we would like to do is design new vector and expression system of the Hansenula polymorpha. Our target is to develop the expression system in Hansenula polymorpha. So we construct the vector of Hansenula based on the Hansenula polymorpha gene informations, and we generate the mutant of Hansenula polymorpha for host expression system. So we disrupt some gene of Hansenula polymorpha for the marker selection, and also cultivation and scaling up the Hansenula polymorpha expression system. So it's not end with that, because we have to meet the regulation from WHO or FDA or National Regulatory Authority. So this is that we have to do in this year to characterize the clone based on genetic characterization that state in the WHO Technical Report Series 941. So we have to demonstrate the proof of integration into the plasmid, determination of integral locus, proof of mitotic stability, identify the MRA of the product, sequence confirmation, and other things that we have to do in this year. And of course, the important thing is characterize the protein, the purity of the protein, molecular size must be the same with the virus-like particle from the native viral, amino acid sequencing of protein, electron microscope of the virus-like particle, structure of SBS-AG by X-ray, antigenicity by ELISA and Western blotting is already done with the consortium, and also the very important is immunogenicity. So with using the animal model, our vaccine has to elicit the antibody response. So the challenge of this consortium is, first, the level of understanding among institutions is not the same. So to put the consortium agenda on their high priority is very important. And the second is almost the same for all the scientists in Indonesia, is to have material and consumables on the time, on budget, on schedule. It's very hard. And knowledge and skill still we have to do the training. So we have an opportunity from Ministry Research and Technology to have training in purification of SBS-AG in Hanover, in University of Hanover. And we know that because this is consortium, so maybe there will be potential conflicts on the IPR or intellectual property rights. So maybe need to be negotiated. Who's belong this vaccine to what institutions? And it's very important. Good research and laboratory practice is not in the same level among collaborators. So we have to continue communicate with all members of the consortium. So this is research and development setting with what the industry needs. The seed lot,
3 minutes.
Yes, must be well defined seed history, have seed characterization, and have seed storage. The raw material must be commercial available, animal-free origins, very important. The process must be scalable and meet the quality by designs, repeatable or consistent, and of course we have to understand the IPR. And the product must be fulfill the public demands. So that's that we need in terms of the industrial setting. And I would like to close my presentation that the continued strong collaboration among academic, universities, business, and government is needed for hepatitis B vaccine development in Indonesia. And this is the study we have done and the milestone that we achieved. One clone of the SBS-AG in Pichia pastoris vector for Hansenella polymorpha expression and strain of the Hansenella polymorpha for protein expression system. And also the characterization of seed and protein still in ongoing process. So I will also share that this is the challenge that we have. Vaccine has improved quality of life from the pre-birth, infants, adolescent, adults, and elderly. We know that right now people have the long expectancy of life, and we hope that this will be healthy, wealthy, and happy life. But the elderly face the problem with recurrent infection of this kind of the agents, and also antibiotic resistance and cancer. And until right now, the vaccine that for elderly just only pneumococcal. The others is still in development. Maybe just start from discovery or research. So this is our challenge, but also our opportunity to have developed this kind of vaccines. So in the end, I would like to thanks to all members of this consortium, the Ministry of Research and Technology, Ekman Institute, BPPT, this is the ITB, UAI, and also Bio Farma. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Neni Nuraini, for the sharing and how consortium works together.